Hey everybody, Dave Neal here. We've got a story involving several layers to it. Chrissy Teigen has been sort of outed for her past harmful tweets by real Candace Owens, and then Rachael Kirkconnell liked that Instagram or tweet or whatever, and now she got dragged into this mess. Now, I do want to say a trigger warning that this conversation will talk about suicide and other harmful bullying. Just as a heads up, I'm new to the world where we do trigger warnings, and I'm going to try my best to say them before. I know people have asked me to make sure that I can let you guys know before I talk about content that that's what we're going to do. So I want to respect you guys as much as possible. I just made this video, and like 10 minutes in the video, I realized I didn't warn people how kind of just vitriolic a lot of what Chrissy Teigen actually said. Now, if you're wondering, why is this a story? Rachael Kirkconnell liked someone who's trying to cancel someone's harmful behavior. Why is this a story? And Rachael Kirkconnell has since unliked it. Well, real Candace Owens is... Everything is so charged politically in our country, and real Candace Owens is considered like a grifter, where she will sell her opinions to the highest dollar here. And there's plenty of articles you can pick up on that will talk about how every receipt proving Candace Owens is a con artist who is following the money. And of course, she's actually considered a conservative white supremacist in this article, but she is trying to get Chrissy Teigen canceled. And the question is like, can someone like Rachael Kirkconnell, who's clearly under a microscope here, and again, this makes my brain hurt even trying to dissect all of this, can someone like Rachael Kirkconnell like a tweet that's actually doing good, even if it's from a bad person or someone you disagree with or the left agrees with? And the thing is, like, a broken clock can still be right twice a day. So disregarding whatever her motivations are, Candace Owens has a point to call out Chrissy Teigen for some really harmful stuff she said. I mean, Chrissy Teigen said, Farrah Abram now thinks she's pregnant from her sex tape. In other news, you're a whore and everyone hates you. Whoops, not other news. Sorry. First of all, my brain hurts just reading this. But the point is there's just like kind of plenty of articles going around kind of digging up what Chrissy Teigen said to teen girls, and encouraged them to commit suicide and other different things like that. So Rachael Kirkconnell has unliked the post, but on Reddit, this whole post itself was locked because the good moderators at Reddit, which I do give them credit, considered this post piling on, which means they considered it like, look, this wasn't really sourced in good faith. People are trying to pile on to Rachael Kirkconnell, and that's really not what this story is all about. I'll just read what the moderator said. Sorry for the delay here. This post was clearly intended as a pile-on, so it's removed. The post doesn't even include the caption of the post Rachael liked, so clearly it wasn't meant to be an actual full discussion of the tweet, or even a transparent discussion of it, but a pile-on. Additionally, OP's comment that, in my opinion, we should look out for this clearly indicates an intention to encourage others to track Rachael's every move to find something to hate on. So the story is, in a world where people are so sensitive to find things that others are doing wrong, we actually have some critical thinking happening in the Bachelor subreddit where the moderators are saying, wait a second, no, too far. You swung the pendulum too far. This isn't about Rachael Kirkconnell liking something. Leave this alone. People commented, this is getting weird. I really want to know how calling out Rachael and holding her accountable for this one, like that we can speculate about its context, is contributing to the greater goal of a more equitable economy, police reform, labor power, etc. If she doesn't follow Candace Owens, like people here say, it probably came up on the Instagram Explore page. And let's not act like these social media algorithms always get it right. Mine is full of mommy bloggers, and I interact with no accounts like that. And yeah, not everyone looks at the account of the random photo they're liking. I definitely don't. Sure, maybe she should be more aware considering her past, but maybe it hasn't become natural instinct. It's not exactly normal for people to track every like someone gives. Call these excuses for her, whatever, but I don't see how this is a productive at all, especially when we can't definitely say the circumstances she liked it. There are far more people with far more power who deserve to be called out and held responsible. I know we can hold more than one person responsible at a time, but she's been called out. This isn't going to suddenly make the people who already like her not like her. All this is doing is contributing to backlash against an ex-reality TV contestant who we will probably never see on our screens again. I'm not a Rachael defender and don't have one comment ever defending her. This is more of a critique of our priorities. Is what we're doing in this thread really contributing to material change or contributing to unproductive outrage culture? Unproductive outrage culture. I could never have said it as good as this person said it right here. The Rachael stands working overtime. So some people were saying this is an excuse. Some people are saying this is outrage culture. It's kind of like, yeah, where are we putting our bandwidth? You only get so many hours in the day. You only get so many days in your life. Where are we putting our bandwidth? Looking at the receipts of Rachael Kirkconnell liking someone you disagree with's post, even if the subject of that post was well-intended? I'm not saying Candace Owens has the right intentions. I'm saying it's well-intended to call out Chrissy Teigen. Now, Candace Owens is getting Chrissy Teigen canceled. Owens joined the cancel culture movement against Teigen after it was revealed that the cookbook author once bullied former teen bride Courtney Stodden, going as far as to tell the reality TV star to commit suicide in a private message on Twitter. So this beef is really digging into the pockets of Chrissy Teigen's career. Of course, she is a Sports Illustrated cover model, I believe, and also married to John Legend. I believe they have a couple kids, right? If you've been following me on social media over the last week, you've seen that I've led a campaign for people to examine the long history of abuse that Teigen has directed at young women. We're not talking about mean tweets. We're talking about Teigen harassing teen girls and even encouraging suicide. This is the problem when we get into a culture where it's my side versus your side. People are going to just drudge up everyone else's harmful past until there's nothing left. Nothing left. Now, is what Chrissy Teigen said wrong? Absolutely. Has she apologized in the past? Absolutely. That doesn't mean there aren't consequences to what she said, but also Candace Owens is also a monster of a human. I mean, like I said before, there's just plenty of articles where that call out Candace Owens and just she like very uneducated opinions on a lot of situations that sell her own people real short. Candace posted, "While I am glad that Bloomingdale's has also decided to drop Chrissy Teigen, I would be happier if Chrissy offered a sincere apology to all of young women she attacked. The Twitter apology was just an attempt to save her sponsors. She has Courtney Stodden blocked here." Boy. So it's just, I mean, they're going at it. Maybe it's slow news on a Friday, but, you know, it's interesting because Twitter's going to be around for a while. There's going to be politicians. People are going to be around for a long time that are going to have to pay for what they've said in the past. And the question is, what will be the public's threshold for grace moving forward with people's past actions versus who they are and what they do today? Stodden also alleges the Sports Illustrated cover model privately sent messages telling them to kill themselves. Them being Chrissy, them being Stodden, her pronouns are they, them. Stodden first made headlines in 2011, 10 years ago, after marrying then 50-year-old actor Doug Hutchinson at the age of 16. That is not a typo. Owens noted that Teigen also targeted actress Lindsay Lohan and former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin. Chrissy also did this to Lindsay Lohan, mocking her after Lohan attempted to slit her own wrist. Teigen said the troubled actress likely adds a few more slits to her wrist every time she sees Emma Stone, another A-list redheaded actress. Teigen also said she wished Sarah Palin would shoot herself in the face. Teigen has apologized for the disturbing tweets, stating not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all their past bullshit in front of the entire world, she said in a series of posts published on May 12th. I'm mortified and sad at who I used to be. You know, her apology sort of resembles Taylor Nolan. Not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all their past. Kind of sounds a little bit like that, but I get the point. She's so privileged to have had so much success in her life that people are analyzing. You know, it's almost like I was kind of a weird comparison, but I was talking to my fiance about how busy I am on my Patreon because I've got to write all these thank you cards and postcards to all the new members. And I was like saying, look, I'm not complaining. That means there's a lot of new people coming in. So again, it's a stupid comparison. I'm not trying to promote it here. I'm just saying Chrissy's own success brought a platform in which it's being used against her now. And that is a privilege in some ways. I mean, it's a privilege that she's had that much success. Meanwhile, people on Twitter have called out Candace Owens' hypocrisy, noting that she is feigning concern about how Teigen's tweet affected a young white girl when it wasn't that long ago when Owens herself mocked Meghan Markle for revealing she had suicidal thoughts during her bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey in March. Look, I I don't disagree with the idea that Candace Owens is in it for herself. 100%. She said vitriolic things. She has no grounds to stand to get someone else canceled, but yet that's exactly what she's trying to do. Owens has also made clear that she is very much anti-cancel culture, so the fact that she's using the movement to attack Teigen has many folks tweeting her directly and asking her to make it make sense. Candace Owens claims she's going after Chrissy Teigen because she cares deeply about suicide when she openly mocked Meghan Markle for having suicidal ideations and Kurt Cobain for taking his life, the Daily Beast Marlo Stern wrote. Owens was a trending topic on Twitter Thursday for writing in a tweet that announcing that your pronouns are they, them is just poor grammar. She is also offering a subscription discount to the Daily Wire using the discount code Chrissy. So there's clearly money to be made here. You know what? To just sum it all up with this, because you're not going to be able to untangle these Christmas lights anytime soon. So to just sum it up with this, there is money to be made by corporations and people fighting each other. It'd be very easy, even on my channel, to just make videos where we pull people apart. But I think the audience, you guys, myself, I think we all have a thirst for grace. I think we have a thirst for overcoming our past, for understanding we've made mistakes. It's not about where we come from, but about where we're going. And I would actually be willing to forgive Candace Owens and Chrissy Teigen for both of their comments they've made that negatively affected people with mental health problems, as long as they were in a place moving forward where they were speaking out and denouncing that past behavior. But instead, we're so focused on getting apologies and cancels from other people that we're not focused on the bandwidth we need to spend our energy moving forward with grace, with compassion, with love. So there isn't much else to say about that other than it's messy, it's a mud fight, and if we ever play the game about who's more of a victim, who's woker than the next person, it's going to end with people just trying to get each other canceled. Again, I don't endorse, of course, what Chrissy Teigen said. I don't endorse a lot of what Candace Owens does. I just think when you're pointing fingers at other people, you are bound to find hypocrisy in all that you do. And if I was Rachael Kirkconnell, I would stop liking all photos whatsoever. Rachel, if you're listening, if your mom Kim's listening, hey, how are you? Listen, social media is one of those tools that it can be great. It can make you, it can expose you to a new world, but it can also tear you apart. It can give people the puzzle pieces to connect the dots that might not even be there to prove that you're a bad person. I don't think Rachael Kirkconnell's a bad person. I think she liked his post because she's anti-suicide, which who isn't? I think she's anti-bullying. Most people are anti-bullying. So I think the message there is fine. But of course, somebody tried to call out that Rachael was liking someone who comes from a political background that they don't agree with. Well, folks, there's a lot there. I don't know if any of this made sense whatsoever. My brain hurts just trying to break it all down. So I'll just leave you with the idea that we leave room for growth. We leave room for letting people get to the place where they do the right thing. And we just try our best to just clean our own rooms for once. No one gets to make fun of anyone else until your bed's made. I feel like a dad. I'm going to turn this bus right around. I'll do it. All right, guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. The Patreon's live. I got a brand new video there and a new video on the vlog channel. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye now.